Grant Petty, the Deliverance. What's
That is
going?
me. Well, at the moment, just doing a little bit of shopping and a lot of press and rehearsal. You know how that goes.
Yes, and how much is a lot of press you guys doing? Quite a bit right now.
Uh, Anywhere from 5 to 7 interviews a week type deal. Some in person, a lot of internet, a lot of phone. Uh, Instructional videos for drummers and guitarists and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, well, the instructional videos, I think that's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's actually funny watching the guitarist because whenever they slow it down, occasionally from time to time, they actually kind of forget what they're playing because they're like, oh, hey, we've never played it slow. So it's kind of funny watching them, but we got a good film editor who kind of follows us and does all our, videos for us and all of our stuff like that, so pretty good.
So right now, Grant, the media is going crazy for you guys.
Yeah, all positive responses so far.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. And we're open to negative, because we understand you can't please everybody. So it's that kind
For
of
sure.
deal too. But so far we've been getting a pretty good response from everybody. So.
And have you guys landed a deal with Century Media?
Well, no, we haven't actually. We at the moment, what we're trying to do is trying to shop to majors. That's kind of, we have management who is Frank, the old bass player from Obituary. He's our manager, and he
Okay.
has a management company. So we know George. He's a great publicist guy. We've known him for a while, and he really dug the music, and he wanted to help us out. But as far as Century Media it goes and all that, we're not that we won't shop at that level, but we're just trying to basically shoot for the stars and see what happens. And if all the big boys tell us no, then we'll do the grind or do whatever we have to do, kind of thing.
I'll tell you, with the tone you guys have on this new album, Revelation, it's incredible. The sound quality is just pure.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we only had to re-record that thing 8 times, so.
Only 8 times. Wow.
Only 8 times, yeah, from the original, just me and Mick trying to figure out what we were doing till we tried to get a actual name producer involved, and we did eventually. But by the time we sent it to him, we'd re-recorded it and we just thought we had it perfect. Oh, that's it, because this is all self-done. Me and Mick are producer guys as well as artists. Sent it to that guy and he goes, that's great. Why don't you re-record all those guitars and bass tracks and vocals again and make them like this. And then we did that. Month goes by. He goes, that's great, but I'm going to have to fly out there from New York and come into the studio with you guys multiple times. So that took another 7 months. But yeah, the guy, Stan Vincent, he's a old school cat from New York, but it made a significant difference. I can really see where the years actually do matter, because sometimes when you're younger you're like, oh well, I got this hot new idea, and then after a while you're like, no, there's a reason why some of these guys have been in it for so long.
So technically the new album's old.
Well, yeah, technically, because still at this point, yeah. I mean, if me and Mick actually met about 2 years ago, and we just sat and literally recorded in his house on a computer, good preamps and mics, and I sang in his girlfriend's closet into blouses, and his girlfriend, like, she was so cool the whole time, but she was like, Grant, my red blouse always smells like your breath. I can't even wear this thing out. I was like, well, that's the one that puts me in the good vibe, because I'm like looking through. It was weird, you get stuck in a closet for 6 hours, and at a time you start looking through her clothes. So, anyways, but yeah, it was a really good experience. And now we're just going on to the next pieces of it.
Any lined up shows for the summer?
Well, we had a couple, but we're kind of laying low on that. The reason is we in between the past October and about February, we played a whole bunch of shows all out in Arizona, Phoenix, and all in OC area. We were playing, I say a whole bunch. I say, 2-3 times a week type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But we noticed that the manager, he lives, Frank, he lives out in Florida, so he comes out, checks us out, and makes sure everything's good. But he came out and he was like, hey guys, it's sounding good, but if it does not sound exactly like that CD or better, you guys do not play any shows. And it did sound, I would give it like an A, but we kind of saw what he was, going at. So at this point, we're recording our practices literally because everything's to a click track, and it all, there's backing music that goes on and everything like that. So it has to be really perfect as far as all that goes. And we're just making sure when that opportunity comes up that the only reason for a denial would be because it's just not the sound they're looking for, not because, hey, you guys just technically aren't on or this or that, So we're just making sure that our musicianship is the highest that you can, have. So that's really where we're sitting at the moment.
In 2011, there'll be shows, most likely.
Yeah, we're going to try to probably pull a few. We got one working here probably the end of August in L.A., and then one down in San Diego. The drummer lives in San Diego, and I live in L.A. The other guys live in Orange County, so we're kind of spread out a bit. But we're kind of trying to limit the shows. We want to do them just because we played a whole lot together, so we're real comfortable playing together. But we just want to make sure that it's a phenomenal show, no glitches in between. What we want our ideal is, instead of you go through and you see a band play, and if they have click tracks, they always, the guys pushing play, a lot of times on the iPod and go and go and go. We just want to have it where you push play once, 45-minute set or whatever the set is, no stops. If there is a stop, it's an exact timed, okay, there's a 15, like an in-between sounds and stuff that goes with it. Just like when you go to a major concert of a major artist, that's how it looks. And that's how we want that. And we, that's what we are striving for, and that's how it will be. So 2011, we hope to kill it.
Now for this new album also, for Revelation, you guys got some unreleased tracks also coming out, in the near future, or is everything put on this?
We have about 3 unreleased tracks that we're just kind of holding. That we're gonna. What our plan is release the album, and then maybe 3 months later release a track. A couple months later release another track, and then maybe release another one.
That's a good
idea.
We
have a few connections as far as distribution goes for Europe and Japan, which hopefully the label would take care of things like that. But a lot of times I've noticed that European and Japan, for some reason, they're all about getting these secret tracks for some reason. So it's kind of one of our thoughts is to hold a few of them just so we have a little bit of ammunition, so the album isn't just out there and then you just don't hear anything for 2 years unless you see them on tour, kind of thing. Yeah, it's been going well. Lots of movement. That's what the newest thing we're kind of getting involved in at the moment is we've been shooting a few, not reality episodes, but somewhat. Like the first one that'll come out is going to be called Slums, because none of us are millionaires at all. Like I'm sitting here on a construction site right now, so we're struggling musicians trying to get by. So we basically have a version of MTV, Cribs, except it's called Slums. So instead of a mansion, it's a 1-bedroom apartment, and instead of the master suite, it's a couch with a blanket and a pillow. And instead of a Prevost tour bus, it's a van that doesn't run very well. And then we'll kind of every week we're going to kind of release if there's an interview, I'll kind of give my feelings about what's going to happen. Then there'll be the filming of whatever that interview is, and then it'll be the afterthoughts, and then and kind of maybe if there's a little parts of a practice, if there's an issue with the guy, we'll kind of vent some things. Kind of give it a little bit more of a personal feel to it, so people, as we're kind of a rags to riches kind of thing, and if not, it'll just be rags. So.
And when's this coming out?
Yeah, that stuff will actually be probably out on the MySpace and YouTube within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
And the first episode thing will be the Cribs, and then following that, every week we're going to release a new a new, 15-minute little episode of what the band's up to, not just on playing and business-wise. We'll also have what's going on with some of the personal guys' lives and some of the things that are actually going on and what we're having to deal with and not deal with to make our dreams come true, and what you have to sacrifice or don't sacrifice. It's kind of just to let fans kind of get involved, or because I always like to know about how some of the guys are actually doing on more of a personal level than just okay, new album, new song, new this tour. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But I also like to watch the Osbournes and the Family Jewels show. It's like I kind of like watching those. Those are funny. So.
One last thing here, Grant. Where do you find your band online?
If you look up, it's MySpace / The Deliverance Band. Or you can type in The Deliverance into Yahoo anywhere, and you can check out music videos.
Okay, why do you have V in front of Deliverance?
It's just more of a statement, just okay. The Deliverance. Plus, if you just name it Deliverance, it reminds me too much of that old movie.
Yeah.
It was actually Mick from England. He's the one who kind of thought up the name, and then we decided to, kind of, hey man, The Deliverance has a little more punch. It's more of a statement. And he'd never even heard of the movie, but we were like, and there's a movie out,
Because type in Deliverance and you'll see that guy with the banjo in the first picture.
Exactly. You see Burt Reynolds running through the woods. So, yeah, thanks a lot, man.